Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're installing the TRC rear diffuser. So the way we have to do this, basically there's 3 rivets. So there's 3 rivets on each side of your rear diffuser itself. And then basically you just pull it off, pop this one on, put some nuts and bolts through these little holes in the side, and you're all good to go really. So anyway, I'm going to run you through it all now, but I've jacked the car up just to give it a bit more easier access for a drill and stuff, and I'll show you guys where the rivets are. So just to show you what I'm looking at, basically underneath here, you've got a rivet here. Although it doesn't even look like a rivet, but we're going to drill it out anyway. So there's like a rivet there, there's a rivet here, and then in between these two, there is another rivet. So in that gap, there is another rivet. So basically once you've drilled those 2 out, you can peel this down a bit and then you can drill the 3rd one out, and then you've got 2 little bolts there. So you've got like a little nut here, little nut here. Apparently they're super easy to get off. So once they're off, basically the whole thing's free. Now some people do take their wheel off. I'm gonna have to remove my mud flaps if I'm gonna go down this route, because then you have to take your wheel arch liner out. So obviously if I have to do that, I've got to, remove my mud flaps as well. So I'm going to try and not do that, but obviously when I put the bolt through, we'll see if I can get my hand on the other side or not. But yeah, super simple. So just rivet, rivet, and then pry, rivet. To show you what I mean by the extra rivet. Basically it's inside here. You might just be able to see it up there, I'm not sure if you can, but basically the hole that the rivet goes through is this one, so you might be able to stick a drill bit through there and actually drill that bit out. But yeah, there is a hidden rivet inside there, and thank you to Adam, legend, for kind of pointing that one out before I started to do this. So I have now drilled the 2nd side. So once again, just pull that down, make sure all the rivets are off. So it's just those 2 rivets. You don't need to do this one, that's for your spats, so don't touch that one. But anyway, so that's off, that's off. So now it's basically just a case of undoing these 2 little nuts under here. So that one there and the one at the back, and we're all good to go. We should start be able to pull it off. So the funny thing about these, they're actually finger tight. So you don't even need a tool for this bit. They literally just come off and they're just little nuts. So just do this one. Once again, it's finger tight. It's not, it's not an actual nut or anything. I think it's just holding it on just a tiny bit. There we go. Right, now it's all off. We should be able to start pulling it. One rear diffuser. All I'd say to that is just make sure you really drill the rivets out. The white piece does come separate, so if you want to, you can pull it out a bit more and actually disconnect the white bit from the black honeycomb bit, and then that allows you to get more into the rivet. But just make sure you drill the rivets fully out, and then you can get it off. Once again, I'm going to try and do this without taking the mud flaps off, but that's where your nut's going to go. Obviously once it's all clipped on, you're going to put the bolt through. In between you're going to have about 5 washers, and on top you're going to have 1 washer in here and then a nut. So we're going to try and do it without taking the wheels off and stuff first. Cool, so that is basically it on. We just now need to do the bolts underneath. But overall, I'm super happy with that. Obviously it needs a polish, it needs a wax, and I'm going to wash the whole car in a second anyway. But hopefully, it's looking good. I'm happy with it. Let's just give you a slightly better hole of the hole that you're going to be putting a nut through. That hole there is where it's going to go through. So when this is all set up nice and tight, it's going to be in there. Now I'm going to do this without taking my wheel arch liner out and my wheel off. You can take that off if you want to, but I'm just going to basically just come around the corner and just try and hold the nut there to save myself taking all of that stuff off. So once it's back on, I'm going to do that off camera, but basically I'll show you what I mean by the washers and stuff once it's all complete. So the rear diffuser is now fully on. Fitment's okay. The hardest bit is getting those screws in. I've taken one wheel off, and I did end up taking the mud flap off the wheel arch. I then realised you don't actually need to do that. So as long as you get underneath the car, you can then access, basically here is where it is. Now I couldn't get a spanner in here. I've done it up as tight as I can, but I mean, if you can get a spanner in there, good for you. I found it almost impossible to line this up properly, so it's basically hand tight to the point where it hits the nylock nut. But other than that, I'm super happy with it. It looks awesome. Obviously the car needs a clean, and like I said, I'm going to polish it and everything, but yeah, I'm really happy with that. It looks cool. So this is how it sits. So you've got the Allen key here, you've got the 5 washers in between, and then round this horrible corner here that you can't reach to is the bolt, or nut I should say, and that's how you get to that. Now obviously to get into there is almost impossible, but you know, good luck to you.